Hello all, welcome to Kondira Online. My name is Seshank and today we will be looking at the analytical writing section of GRE. We make content every day, and to access this content and not to miss a single video, please do make sure to like our channel, subscribe our channel and also click on the bell icon. Coming to our topic today, analytical writing. It's the first section that you see in the examination. However, not too many people generally reveal their AWA scores. Two reasons. Reason number one, not many people get a great score. Two, unlike your verbal reasoning and quantitative reasoning scores, the unofficial ones which are presented to you right after the test, the analytical writing scores come to you after a couple of weeks along with the official GRE scorecard. Reason: the essays that you write as a part of analytical writing are going to be evaluated both by a human as well as a machine on a scale of 0 to 6 in increments of 0.5. Typically, the top colleges, particularly for the graduate and doctoral programs, would require you to score a 4.5 or more on AWA. So, how do we reach this score? What are the tips and tricks that you need to follow in order to score that 4.5 plus? First and foremost, understand that in analytical writing, the analytical part takes precedence over writing part. So, it is not just about how you write, it's also about what you write. Your writing styles, your ability to use higher level vocabulary, making sure that you are not committing grammatical mistakes, all of these are, yes, absolutely required, but what is going to drive your score forward is the kind of content that you come out with. Your AWA section has two subtasks. Subtask 1 is issue task. In issue, you are required to come out with your stance or position on a claim or a topic that has been given to you. You have a choice of two topics to pick out one topic from and then proceed on to write your essay. A few things to keep in mind. Given that your analytical abilities are being evaluated, your ability to justify your stance, your position with strong logical arguments supported with examples is going to make all the difference. Further, your ability to bring a structure to your essay, divide it into meaningful paragraphs with a clear introduction and a conclusion will make it easy for the evaluator to read your essay. In the introduction, please do make sure that you are highlighting your stance on the topic. As much as possible, make it unambiguous. Let there not be a confusion on which side are you arguing for. Typically, a 350 word essay is considered to be of a decent length. Anything less than 150 words? No, it's going to be considered as too short. More than 600 words, I think you will just not have time, given that both the issue subtask as well as the argument subtask are for 30 minutes each. So, structure, content in terms of your stance and your ability to justify that stance with examples is what is going to differentiate your essay. At Kondira Online, we use multiple methods to generate points. It could be select, where S stands for social, E stands for economic, L stands for legal, the second E stands for environment, the C stands for culture, and T stands for technology, is a useful tool to analyze the topic from all the different points of view. Remember, one pro tip: not just strengthen your stance, but if you are able to weaken the opposite stance, then yes, you get bonus points. So, just to give you an example, let us say the topic given to you is India is a great country, and you go ahead and support it with all the logical justifications that you can bring about. But if you can also come out and say why somebody might not say that India is a great country and weaken their stance, then yes, you have a winning essay on your hands. Issue: generally students find it easier to understand what to do, but of course find it a little more difficult to go ahead and implement it, because you need to come out with a lot of content in terms of examples, stories, facts, wherever you can to justify your stance. Argument, on the other hand, yes, is slightly more difficult to understand what needs to be done. Typically in the Indian context, argument is about having a debate. But in the classical definition of argument, it is about constructing a logically sound theory. As a part of the argument task, you would be presented a paragraph consisting of an argument. That is a clear-cut conclusion, which could be a recommendation, a course of action, a suggested course of action, a prediction, as well as the logical thought process on the author has used to reach that conclusion. More important than understanding what needs to be done, I think in the argument subtask, you need to know what need not be done. You don't need to negate the author's conclusion. You're not really required to go ahead and say, you are a fool, you are wrong. Neither are you required to negate the author's premises on which the entire conclusion has been based upon. To give you a simple example, if I were to say that India is a great country because more than half of its population is less than 25 years of age, a random argument, right? In this case, you are not required to come out and say that no, India is not a great country. That's not required. Neither are you required to come out and negate my premises. That is, half of India's population is less than 25 years of age. It's a fact. You can't negate it. So what is it that you are therefore required to do? In the argument task, you are required to identify scenarios where the author's argument might not hold true. To be able to do this, one of the tricks that you need to do is to identify the assumptions that the author has made to reach the conclusion based on the premises. Assumptions are often left unsaid and are therefore a little more difficult to unearth. But with practice, it's not very difficult. Furthermore, if the assumptions that the author has made are invalid, then it often leads to a few logical mistakes, unfair comparisons, or a paradox in terms of causal arguments that the author has built. Let us say he has assumed a correlation to be a causation, or maybe he has based his conclusion on a sample population which is not representative of the entire population. These are some of the logical mistakes that you can also point out. But the more important part is, as a part of the argument task, you are required to look into the analysis of the argument. You are required to analyze the argument, identify the assumptions, and figure out when are these assumptions valid and when they are not, and thereby leading to logical mistakes. Yes, if it sounded a little difficult as compared to issue task, that is because you require a bit of practice. The good thing, however, both with the issue task as well as the argument task, is it's an open exam. All the topics that you might see on the examination day are already detailed out on the ETS website. However, please do make sure that you are not looking at online sources and are reproducing the points available online as they are. For one very simple reason, the evaluation also consists of a plagiarism check. If your essays are seemingly similar to a source available online, there's a very good chance that your score might actually be withheld. So, to quickly summarize what we have seen in this video, as a part of analytical writing, what you write is much more important than how you write. You don't need to have a great introduction starting off with a quotation or starting off with a poem, etc., etc. Your ability to analyze a topic, in case of issue, being able to look at it from all the different sides, is probably what is going to give you scores. In case of argument, your ability to look at when does the argument get strengthened and in what scenarios does the argument get weakened, again will showcase you as an analytical person, a logically strong person, thereby giving you that desired, that wanted score of a 5+ on 6. So at Kondira Online, we provide classes for GRE, for IELTS, wherein we look at in much more depth various strategies to understand the instructions, to look at what needs to be done, to build the content for not just analytical writing alone, but all the different sections. You will be joining me and my colleagues at Kondira Online for live classes where you get to interact with us, ask your questions, get your doubts clarified. I would love to see you in the live prep classroom, interact with you and help you score that dream score that you have set for yourself. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends. If you have any questions that you would like to ask me, basis, argument, issue, analytical writing, GRE in general, or even study abroad, use the comment section and we will try to answer as many questions as we can. Quickly, to close, I wish you all a fantastic score in GRE, and do remember that Kondira Online is here to help you in every step of your journey towards that dream score. Thank you. Have a great day.